What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Party Chat. I'm Matt, that's Dan, and that's Ash.
Ooh.
So, we're not going to talk about Pokemon this week.
We're not.
So when I said it was Poker Chat, that was a one-off special. As much as I wanted to do Pokemon Go Week 2, I was very quickly shot down. So instead, we will be talking about something else. This is our weekly show where we get together and just talk about a random video game conversation topic, whether it be news related, a game we've all recently played, or maybe lists of favourite games. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking, we are basically we're a little over halfway through the year, but effectively we're now at the point, end of July, all of the first half of the year games are concluded, and now August is where we begin to kick on with the big kind of second half of the year games. So we're going to each discuss what our favourite game of the year has been so far, and a little explanation of why. And then also our most anticipated game of 2016 and why. Because at the top of the year, we said all of the 2016 games we were excited for, half of which have probably now been delayed till 2017.
And we've also had new announcements of new games coming out, which we didn't have at the beginning of the year. So
exactly. So who wants to kick off with their favourite game so far?
I'll start.
2016. Go on, Ash.
For me, at the beginning of the year, the biggest game that I was the most excited for had to be Uncharted 4, being a huge Uncharted fan. And it delivered. Thankfully, it did deliver, and it didn't disappoint. For me, definitely so far this year, the best game I've played. It complemented the Uncharted series, and I couldn't get enough of it really, and still can't. I'm still playing it, still working through to get the platinum. But in terms of the story, if you like, and how it rounded off the story with should we say, his family. I think it was done very well.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it was done well.
I'm going to echo your sentiments. I mean, I've played a lot of really good games this year. Spent probably the most time in Division with Dan. We've played a lot of that together, had really good fun, despite what some people say about the game. Other fantastic games such as The Witness, Overwatch, more recently Inside.
Firewatch was there as well.
Yeah. Did I say Overwatch?
Yeah, you said Overwatch.
Oh, I haven't played Overwatch.
I did wonder. I was like, I'm sure you told me you haven't played Overwatch.
I haven't played Overwatch. I meant Firewatch.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of really, really great games. But yeah, I think I have to go Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
For reasons you've said. It was absolutely fantastic. It's not often, when there's a story-based game, narrative start to finish, it's not often that I'll play a game multiple times. Not so close together. I'll maybe revisit it somewhere down the line. But, it was partially for the platinum, but I played through the story like 6 times, I think it was. Normal, crushing, collectibles, accuracy.
Oh.
So 5 or 6 times, and loved it every time. And still continue to love it. Had surprisingly good multiplayer for someone who doesn't like multiplayer. I'm not playing it now because I don't like multiplayer, but I enjoyed it for the few hours I had to play it for the trophies. It wasn't like a horrible grind, and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's a masterpiece in video gaming, and it's probably going to be my game of the year come the end of the year, unless something comes out and really, really surprises me. But it's a tough year. We've been blessed with some really good games already this year.
Yeah, we have.
And there was still more to come. Dan?
As much as I did like Uncharted and so on, I'm going with The Division because it's the game that I put the most hours in, and the problem for me is with story-driven games is once I play it once, I tend to kind of then put it aside for a long period of time. I might play it again. I have gone back to some games and so on. It's very rare that I'll immediately go in and do the whole thing again.
Restart,
and so on. So, but for The Division, even though yes, the story wasn't necessarily as developed as people might have wanted out of it, it was a game where I would be like, I want to go on that now this evening and so on, like just an hour or so, just do little bits and pieces. It was a game that I wanted to continually go back to for a while.
It's what I like to call a video game. Now essentially what I mean is like it's just there for fun. Mm-hmm. It's not a story that you have to get overly like. There's no huge kind of mental concentration required for the game. You just pick it up, you have fun. It's got those it's like the typical Ubisoft collector fun, where
Yeah.
they're making you go back, always just want to do a little bit more to get that, a little bit more to get that, from obviously cosmetics to weapons. And you're the same as me, you're not a big multiplayer fan, but you really enjoyed the multiplayer, the way they did multiplayer.
Yeah,
in
I
terms
think
of-
it worked because it didn't force you necessarily to be with people you didn't know as such, in the sense of like, oh, you now got to team up with them and to be able to complete this or anything like that. It was you can join in, you can link up, you don't have to talk to them at all. It will just work, just be a group together kind of thing, and it worked.
Yeah. No, it's a very good game. I think critically it was kind of received lukewarm because of the problems it had, in the fact that it was people with bullet sponges, and it was a bit repetitive, and
Yeah.
there is no end game when you compare it to Destiny. But it's just like, at the end of the day, if it's fun, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, it had that playability. It had that sort of continuous playability. I think where you could, just keep going back to it time and time again. I did with a group of friends as well. You could just pick it up of an evening, play a couple of hours, and you felt like you'd made a bit more progress towards clearing out areas, etc. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're going to compare it on a critically kind of level, Uncharted and Division, obviously Uncharted is a far superior game.
Yeah,
But it doesn't
I fully
necessarily.
accept that.
But on here, we're not critical experts. We're not doing it as the best game. We always do opinion based content here, and it's our most enjoyable, our favourite game
Yeah,
of the year, and that's how we're always very careful to say that, because when it's best, it's very much an objective thing, whereas favourite is 100% subjective. So they can't criticise our opinion, although it is the internet, so they probably will.
Oh yeah, your opinion is wrong to everyone else.
absolutely. Isn't that what Matt normally says to us?
Yeah.
Well, it is, but yeah.
Only his opinion is right.
Yeah, definitely.
Standard. So we'll snake it back now for most anticipated.
Okay.
Dan?
Yeah. Unfortunately, obviously, the one when I started the year has been bumped into next year with Mass Effect. So, like, out of what's left, I don't have a lot on my pre-order list for this year now. But I don't have anything now, apart from Madden. But
That doesn't count.
I don't want to count a sports title because that's there every year,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I think now, because I simply just want it to come out, is No Man's Sky. It's like I want that game to get out and to succeed, because it's just gone through so much that I just want to see it. I want to play it.
Yeah.
It's just the intrigueness of it. It's like, kind of, what is this game? Is it going to excite me? Obviously it has literally unlimited potential.
Yeah.
Like, you could play the game forever and it will never end. But is it going to have that thing like The Division? Is it going to make you want to keep coming back to it?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That is the question.
The $1 million question. I'm kind of in the similar vein of you, as that if I was doing my most intrigued game of 2016, then No Man's Sky would be it, because I have no idea. Like, it could be a game that I love, or within about 10 minutes I'm like, this is stupid, I'm bored, and never play it again. I have no idea.
I'm the same.
Because they're releasing videos right now that's showing us kind of like the core mechanics of the game, about the trading, the fighting, and all of that stuff. But most anticipated is difficult. There are a lot of good games coming this year. If you're struggling for games, Dan, maybe you need to pick up an Xbox One, because there's a lot of cracking games coming over on Xbox One. But it's difficult. I mean, there's two games. Don't worry, I'm only picking one, but there's two games that really stand out for me this year. First up is Mafia 3, because I'm really excited for that game, because it's basically it's an open world sandbox game, and those are the games I love. And you'll see from my most anticipated why. Like, the first one that came into my mind, and I'm sticking with it, is Watch Dogs 2. I'm really excited for that game, and this is coming from someone, you know how much I love South Park.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying South Park. I'm sticking with Watch Dogs 2 because I really like the first game, despite what some people said about the game. And I like the setting, San Francisco. We don't see many games in that city. It's not one that I'm familiar with, even though it is a city that interests me. So get to discover the city and learn the city. And I'm just hoping it's going to be the step up from Watch Dogs 2 that we had with the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And if it is, then I already liked the first one, so I'm absolutely going to love this game. So
Well, I think based off what I've seen of Watch Dogs 2, it certainly looks like they're
everything.
They're making the attempt to make that step,
Yeah.
rather than just going, you know what, we had that game, let's just redo it somewhere else.
Yeah, no,
Which
they're
is
definitely.
what some franchises can end up falling into.
I'm really intrigued. The thing that intrigues me the most is that they say that you can play the entire game non-lethally.
Yeah,
It's like you
you've
don't
got,
have to kill anyone.
You've got like 3-4 different approaches you can make to the whole game.
So, I mean, the first time I'm just going to play the game naturally, whatever situation plays. But on my second playthrough, I will want to try and do it, the whole thing non-lethally, just to see how it works. But yeah, can't wait for that game.
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, it's both of those games, Mafia, I think, and Watch Dogs are both games that I am equally, I think, keen to play as I am
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, and no doubt I'll be picking up all three of those before the end of the year. I'm quite
Correct.
certain of it. But one that does appeal to me, which kind of caught me a bit off guard because we weren't really expecting it, is Steep. Coming out in December. This is a skiing, snowboarding, paragliding, wing suiting game. Now, you know, since SSX, the last one came out on PS3,
That was a really good game.
yeah, it was. And, you know, I really enjoyed playing that. I loved that you had the opportunity to go to all the different types of peaks. You had very different sort of environments within that. And I think, you know, Steep is going to be better than that almost, because you've got, not have you just got as a snowboarding game, but you've also got skiing, you've also got paragliding. With the introduction of VR, you know, you can do the paragliding as first person. So I think it's going to be...
I really hope it's got VR support, like authentic VR support. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Even if not, though, as we know, every game on the PS4 it's a VR game.
Yes.
If it does have proper VR support, are you putting your snowboard in your lounge and then strapping yourself in
I
when
might.
you put it on?
And you should get one of those.
Just so you can hop.
Get one of those 360. What can't I think? The thing that people run on when they do exercise in the gym.
Treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get like a 360 like treadmill thing, so like the ground all moves underneath. Get one of those.
I might
Be
just
amazing.
I might just turn my lounge into like a ball pit.
Get some fake snow in there as well.
Yeah. Whack on the aircon. But no, that game certainly really does appeal to me. I think it's been a few years since we've had a decent winter sports game. You know, and I do like. I mean, I've always been a massive fan of the SSX franchise, and to have this looks really good. Okay, it's not from the same guys necessarily, and it's not part of the SSX franchise, but equally, I think it looks very, very
Yeah.
good. In some ways, better.
I agree with you. Like my only concern with it is the same thing we have now in Sky is what exactly is going to be the hook of the game. SSX, you knew it was all about doing a run and either doing it as quickly as you could or doing as many tricks as you could.
Exactly.
Whereas this seems more about the exploration of a whole mountain, and it's like, are there runs that you do for speed? You know, how's it actually going to work?
Yeah. What's the objective? Of the
Yeah,
game?
What's
I
your
think based off what we saw, the whole point of it was that you would maybe find a run, do it yourself, set
Yeah,
the
it sounds like
time,
you create runs
and then
yourselves.
The community then will try and beat that time and so on. So maybe it's got a little bit of almost like the Trials style of
Possibly.
here's your time, try and beat it.
Yeah.
And that's continually being moved.
And an RIP to Matilda Lapaport. Did you hear about this story?
I did not.
It's a professional skier. She died in an avalanche this week or last week while filming a promo for Steep.
Wow.
So in Chile. So yeah, RIP to her. Should probably try to end the show on a slightly less sour note.
We could do it by saying that, you know...
Video games are awesome.
Well, I was going to say by just saying that is just maybe half a dozen games, or not even that, you know, 5 games that we are really excited about this year, but, you know, we could sit here probably for an hour and talk about games that we're excited
There are
about
plenty more to come,
in the last 5 months of the year.
most of which we probably covered in our video earlier on in the year as well. Some of them come out. It's going to be a great year for video games. There are so many coming. We will have coverage of all of them here on TGI, so make sure you click that subscribe button so you can follow everything we do. There's a convenient little plug there.
Yeah.
No one's watching anymore anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's fine.
Tell your friends or friend and whatever. Cheers. So let us know down below what's been your favourite game of the year so far, and also what your most anticipated game left to come in 2016 is. Do you agree with any of ours, or do you have completely different ones? Just let us know. But for now, Dan, Ash,
Cheers, Matt.
thank you as always. And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. Food time!
Motherfucker!
What would have been even funnier was if that bounced off the